Prakash, HOD of Department of Biotechnology, PGP College of Arts and Science, Namakkal. Sir did his PG Biotechnology in University of Madras and did his MPhil and PhD in Biotechnology at Periyar University. Sir got his MTech Bioinformatics in IASC University. Sir worked as head of the Department of Biotechnology, Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women, Namakkal. Currently, Sir is head of the Department of Biotechnology, PGP College of Arts and Science, Namakkal. Sir got Summer Research Fellowship from Indian Academy of Sciences, Lifetime Education Achievement Award by International Institute of Education and Management, New Delhi, and Best Performance in Excellence Award by National Council for Agricultural and Vocational Training, New Delhi. Sir has published 16 papers in peer-reviewed journals and published 3 books and manuals. Sir submitted 30 DNA sequences in NCBI. Sir has received various projects from DST, DBT, UGC and TNS STC. Sir has conducted DST Inspire program. Now Sir is going to give and handle a hands-on training on the use of force scope, and it covers training methods, assembly of force flow and use of force scopes. And I will request the coordinator of the Inspire camp to honor our guest. Thank you, sir. Now I request you to handle the session, sir. Welcome, sir.
Really, it's a wonderful morning for me, and you also, I think so. You also. And first of all, I would like to thank my friend, colleague, fellow, Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram sir, for giving us wonderful opportunities, as well as our management of Nehru Memorial College, and my dear colleagues, as well as my dear students. So warm welcome to one and all. And really I am happy to introduce myself as well as this force scope. Myself, Dr. Prakash, already she will tell all the things about me. So today I am really happy to see you all here. So now I would like to say something about this force scope before I just want to tell you about this force scope, I just want to share some things from you, because whatever I'm telling, it should reach all the students. So first of all, I know about you peoples, because whatever I am telling, it should reach each and every seconds. You have to understand my teaching and my concepts and whatever things I am sharing with you, because another 2 hours you are giving to me. So I just want to check one thing. All of you, I think you all comes from English medium or Tamil medium? English medium. How many students are at Kerala? So what kind of session you need? Either English or Tamil or Tamilish? Tamilish. Okay, that's better, because it's a simple thing. That's what I'm coming here. Okay, the communication is not a barrier. So in your class session, they will take you in English mode. But here, the simple way we can discuss with each other. So this is about the force scope. I just want first slide please. So first of all, you know what is meant by microscope. Microscope ella use pannirkingala? So you know the meaning of magnification. You know what is the meaning of magnification? Have you heard about this magnification? Zooming capacity. Microscope la, unga students compound microscope irukla adha neenga use pannirukeenga. So our object kodutana adala unga students microscope neenga handle panna microscope la ethana time magnify panna mudiyum? What? Is the correct answer yara sonningna kandipa sir solli price kodukuren. 45. Any other answer? Adula parts la theriyumla. The lens la enna varieties irukku solluங்க பார்க்கலாம். 10x 45x 100x பார்த்துட்டீங்க. ஓகேவா? ஐபீஸ் ல ஏதா இருக்கா? நீங்க சொல்றது objective lens. ஐபீஸ் ல இதே மாதிரி போட்டுருப்பாங்க 10x ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. யாரா பார்த்துட்டீங்களா? பார்த்தது இல்லையா? பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? ஸோ வாட் இஸ் மீன் பை தட் எக்ஸ்? எக்ஸ்னா என்னது? 10 டைம் மல்டிப்ளிகேஷன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். ஓகே, தட் மீன்ஸ் மல்டிப்ளிகேஷன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஹேவிங் த ஐபீஸ் 10x ஐபீஸ் வச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா அகைன் த அப்ஜெக்டிவ் லென்ஸ்ல ஒரு 10x வச்சிருப்பீங்க. ஸோ 10 into 10 100 times you are going to magnify that object. It's all depends upon the lens. 10 into 10 na 100 times, 10 into 45 na 415 times, 10 into 100 na 1000 times. So normally நம்ம students microscope up to 1500 times we can able to magnify our given objects, whatever it is, your own interest of samples or whatever it is. Okay, உங்க times உங்க students microscope ல ஏனா eyepiece வந்து 15x வரைக்கும் இருக்கு. 10x இருக்கும், 5x இருக்கும், 10x இருக்கும், 15x இருக்கும் maximum. So objective lens ல வந்து 10x இருக்கும், 45x இருக்கும், then 100x இருக்கும். So this is the two lenses which we used in this microscope, students microscope. But the problem of this microscope, our microscope ல ஒரு பெரிய problem என்னன்னா, it's very எப்படி சொல்றது, ரொம்ப ஒரு 1 or 2 kgs இருக்கும். It's not easy to carry பண்ணும்போது நிறைய rules and regulations சொல்லுவாங்க. If we have to keep like this அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எங்கனால எடுத்துட்டு போக முடியாது. In case if you want to check some other samples in your home அப்படின்னா உங்களால மைக்ரோஸ்கோப் எடுத்து போய் பார்க்க முடியாது. samples இங்க கொண்டு வந்தா பார்க்க முடியும். So that's what, as an Indian scientist, Dr. Prakash from Nehru in Uttar Pradesh. Now he is in Stanford University. He is doing PhD in Stanford University because we must tell about the scientist, because in the foldscope invent பண்ணவர் வந்து Prakash. So இவரை பத்தி ஒரு basic introduction கொடுத்தாரு. Actually he born in Nehru in Uttar Pradesh, but he studied in BTech IT in IIT, Kharagpur IIT. After that he did his MS in Stanford University, MS and PhD, all these things. After that he start on small lab. In that lab only he invented this foldscope. Foldscope is nothing. It's a simple optical microscope that can be assembled from simple components. Simple components means just paper and small piece of lens. That's it. ஒரு A4 ஷீட் தான் இருக்கும். நீங்க ஹார்லிக்ஸ் வாங்கும்போது ஒரு சின்ன இது கொடுத்துப்பாங்கல்ல, ஒரு கப்பல் செய்யறதுக்கு, ஏரோப்ளேன் ஃப்ளைட் செய்யறதுக்கு, இந்த ஸ்கூல்ல சின்ன குழந்தைங்களுக்கு கொடுப்பாங்க, உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அசம்பிள் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுல இருந்து அதை ரிமூவ் பண்ணிட்டு ஆர்கனாமின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, ஜாப்பனீஸ் ஸ்டைலர். ஒரு பேப்பர்ல கொடுத்துட்டாங்கன்னா அந்த பேப்பர்ல இருந்து ஒரு டிசைன் பண்ணணும், ஒரு கப்பலோ ஒரு வீடோ. பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா, யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா? அதுல இருந்து எடுத்துட்டு ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட். ஆக்சுவலி என்கிட்ட ஃபுல் பீஸ் கிடையாது, அதில் இருந்துச்சுன்னா காமிச்சிட்டு ஆல்ரெடி அசம்பிள் பண்ணியாச்சு. அது ஷோ யூஸ் some of things. So ஒரே ஒரு A4 sheet plus a small coupler சொல்லிட்டு சின்ன piece of lenses, சின்ன குட்டி pieces இருக்கும். That's it. அதை வச்சுட்டு you can able to design your own, you can have your own microscope. This with the cost of 50 to 100 rupees. But now the cost is 500 to 1000 rupees வருது. But in future if it is made from in India, we can get at the rate of 50 to 100 rupees. Just like the geometry box, you can carry your own microscope wherever you need, wherever you want. You can able to do your own projects. That's what the Indian government, that means the Modi, already கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க, Prime Minister, our Prime Minister ரொம்ப நாள் ஊசிட்டே இருக்காருன்னு சொல்லிட்டு எல்லாருமே கிண்டல் பண்ணிருக்கீங்கல்ல. ஸோ ஒன் அகேஷன்ல வந்து Prakash எக்ஸிபிட் பண்ணியிருக்கும் போது, ஒரு யூஎஸ்ல ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸிபிஷன்ல எக்ஸிபிட் பண்ணியிருக்கும் போது மோடி அகேஷன் அங்கே போயிருக்காரு, அவங்கள பார்த்து இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆயிருக்காரு. ஸோ இந்த மைக்ரோஸ்கோப் ஏன் நம்ம ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு, ஈச் அண்ட் எவ்ரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கையிலே இந்த மைக்ரோஸ்கோப் இருக்கக்கூடாது, இருந்துச்சுன்னா அவங்க வந்து யங் மைண்ட் சயின்ஸ் நீங்க யோசிக்க ஆரம்பிப்பீங்க. யூ கேன் பி அ சயின்டிஸ்ட். இந்த மைக்ரோஸ்கோப் மட்டும் உங்களால் உங்க கையில் இருந்துச்சுன்னா யூ கேன் ஏபிள் டு பிகம் அ சயின்டிஸ்ட். அந்த லெவலுக்கு உங்களால் யோசிக்க முடியும். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட் ஹி ஆல்சோ திங்க். அண்ட் he invested 300 crores இந்த ரிசர்ச்சுக்காக ஃபண்ட் ரைஸ் பண்ணி இந்தியா ஃபுல்லா எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கையிலும் இந்த foldscope போய் சேரணுன்றதுக்காக தான் இந்த அவேர்னஸ் ப்ரோக்ராம், அவேர்னஸ் கேம்ப், எவ்ரிதிங். By his motivation only we are doing. I am here, you are all in this camp. Okay. So our சின்ன innovation, our impress ஆகி கொண்டு வந்தது தான் இந்த foldscope project develop பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So this is about the foldscope. I don't want to bore in my session. Okay. Just like it's ultra low cost organomy based portable microscope. This already I told you. The scope starts with a piece of die cut plastic coated paper with small lens printed on this sheet. அந்த ஷீட்ல பிரிண்ட் ஆயிருக்கும். அந்த பேப்பர் ஷீட்ல வந்து எந்தெந்த கட் பண்ணி எடுக்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுல கட்டிங்கோட இருக்கும். But I can't able to show that papers because எல்லாமே assemble பண்ணியாச்சு. That's why. Anyway, I'll try to show you the papers also. A small LED lamp. It's the extra accessories. That LED lamp and battery mounted to the microscope illuminated slides, and users can focus the image by fixing the microscope with their thumb. Actually, all these things I can explain with the hands-on training. Okay, legal individual chances I will give you. So this is the difference between the foldscope and microscope. Microscope simple microscope complicated foldscope simplified use I will show you. Okay, so I just want to stop all this my theoretical session. Just I will show you some videos. It's very impressive and interesting. I asked the Prakash to come and teach you all the videos.
The year is 1800. A curious little invention is being talked about. It's called a microscope. What it allows you to do is see tiny little life forms that are invisible to the naked eye. Soon comes a medical discovery that many of these life forms are actually causes of terrible human diseases. Imagine what happened to the society when they realized that an English mom in her teacup actually was drinking a Monster soup. Not very far from here. This is from London. Fast forward 200 years. We still have this Monster soup around, and it's taken hold in the developing countries around the tropical belt. Just for malaria itself, there are 1 million deaths a year, and more than 1 billion people that need to be tested because they are at risk for different species of malarial infections. Now, it's actually very simple to put a face to many of these monsters. You take a stain, like acridine orange, or a fluorescent stain, or Giemsa, and a microscope, and you look at them. They all have faces. Why is that so? That Alex in Kenya, Fatima in Bangladesh, Navjot in Mumbai, and Julie and Mary in Uganda still wait months to be able to diagnose why they are sick. And that's primarily because of scalability of this diagnostics is completely out of reach. And remember that number, 1 billion. The problem lies with the microscope itself. Even though the pinnacle of modern science, research microscopes are not designed for field testing, neither were they first designed for diagnostics at all. They're heavy, bulky, really hard to maintain, and cost a lot of money. This picture is Mahatma Gandhi in the 40s using the exact same setup that we actually use today for diagnosing TB in his ashram in Sevagram in India. Two of my students, Jim and James, traveled around India and Thailand, starting to think about this problem a lot. We saw all kinds of donated equipment. We saw fungus growing on microscope lenses, and we saw people who had a functional microscope but just didn't know how to even turn it on. What grew out of that work and that trip was actually the idea of what we call foldscopes. So what is a foldscope? A foldscope is a completely functional microscope, a platform for fluorescence, bright field, polarization, projection, all kinds of advanced microscopy built purely by folding paper. So now you think, how is that possible? I'm going to show you some examples here, and we'll run through some of them. It starts with a single sheet of paper. What you see here is all the possible components to build a functional bright field and fluorescence microscope. So there are 3 stages. There is the optical stage, the illumination stage, and the mask holding stage. And there are micro-optics at the bottom that's actually embedded in the paper itself. What you do is you take it on, and just like you were playing like a toy, which it is, I tab it off, and I break it off. This paper has no instructions and no languages. There is a code, a color code embedded that tells you exactly how to fold that specific microscope. When it's done, it looks something like this. Has all the functionalities of a standard microscope, just like an XY stage, a place where a sample slide could go, for example, right here. We didn't want to change this because this is the standard that's been optimized for over the years, and many health workers are actually used to this. So this is what changes, but the standard stains all remain the same for many different diseases. You pop this in. There is an XY stage, and then there is a focusing stage, which is a flexure mechanism that's built in paper itself that allows us to move and focus the lenses by micron steps. So what's really interesting about this object, and my students hate when I do this, but I'm going to do this anyway, is these are rugged devices. I can turn it on and throw it on the floor and really try to stomp on it. And they last, even though they're designed from a very flexible material like paper. Another fun fact is this is what we actually send out there as a standard diagnostic tool. But here in this envelope, I have 30 different foldscopes of different configurations all in a single folder. And I'm going to pick one randomly. This one, turns out, is actually designed specifically for malaria because it has the fluorescent filters built specifically for diagnosing malaria. So the idea of very specific diagnostic microscopes comes out of this. So up till now, you didn't actually see what I would see from one of these setups. So what I would like to do is, if we could dim the lights, please. It turns out foldscopes are also projection microscopes. I have these two microscopes that I'm going to go to the back of the wall, and just project. And this way you would see exactly what I would see. What you're looking at, this is a cross-section of a compound eye, and when I'm going to zoom in closer, right there, I'm going through the z-axis. You actually see how the lenses are cut together in the cross-section pattern. Another example, one of my favorite insects, I love to hate this one, is a mosquito, and you're seeing the antenna of a Culex pipens right there. All from the simple setup that I actually described. So my wife has been field testing some of our microscopes by washing my clothes whenever I forget them in the dryer. So it turns out they're waterproof, and right here is just fluorescein water. And I don't know if you can actually see this. This also shows you how the projection scope works. You get to see the beam the way it's projected and bent. Can we get the lights back on again? So I'm quickly going to show you, since I'm running out of time, in terms of how much it costs for us to manufacture, the biggest idea was roll-to-roll manufacturing. So we built this out of 50 cents of parts and costs. And what this allows us to do is think about a new paradigm in microscopy, which we call use and throw microscopy. I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of some of the parts that go in. Here is a sheet of paper. This is when we were thinking about the idea. This is an A4 sheet of paper. These are the 3 stages that you actually see. And the optical components, if you look at the inset up on the right, we had to figure out a way to manufacture lenses in paper itself at really high throughputs. So it uses a process of self-assembly and surface tension to build achromatic lenses in the paper itself. So that's where the lenses go. There are some light sources. And essentially, in the end, all the parts line up because of origami, because of the fact that origami allows us micron scale precision of optical alignment. So even though this looks like a simple toy, the aspects of engineering that go in something like this are fairly sophisticated. So here is another obvious thing that we would do, typically, if I was going to show that these microscopes are robust, is go to the 3rd floor and drop it from the floor itself. There it is, and it survives. So for us, the next step actually is really finishing our field trials. We're starting at the end of the summer. We are at a stage where we'll be making thousands of microscopes. That would be the first time where we would be doing field trials with the highest density of microscopes ever at a given place. We've started collecting data for malaria, Chagas disease, and Giardia from patients itself. And I want to leave you with this picture. I had not anticipated this before, but a really interesting link between hands-on science education and global health. What are the tools that we're actually providing the kids who are going to fight this monster soup for tomorrow? I would love for them to be able to just print out a foldscope and carry them around in their pockets. Thank you.
foldscope is contained, the first major parts is the magnetic coupler. Magnetic coupler along with lens. There are one part of lens is there, 3 magnetic couplers are there in this foldscope components, the first major components. It's all combined together because they contain the magnetic power, so it's all joined together. We have to separate the 3 foldscope magnetic coupler along with this lens. Only one lens is there, so we have to separate all these parts. It's nothing serious. It's a very simple concept, simple components are there. Just we have a basic idea we can able to design or we can able to assemble the foldscope. This is called as lens. This is only one lens is there in this normal foldscope.
There's a glass bead right in the middle. And make sure that you have these 2 types of lens.
First one is the coupler, first one is the lens, second one is the coupler.
Have asked, what about this one? Well, this is actually 2 pieces stuck together in a really nice, neat way. But all you do is to separate them out by, kind of bending the corner of the square magnet coupler.
So because of this magnetic power, they join together. So no need to stick anything. Okay, just they will join together themselves because both are having the magnetic capacity. So this is about the magnetic coupler as well as the lens. I'll show you the things. The next, let us see about how to assemble the foldscope in this A4 sheets and all. Okay.
Hello, my name is Honomi. I'm the Director of Community Engagement at Foldscope Instruments. Today, I'm joining you from beautiful Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, California. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to assemble your brand new foldscope. First, we'll show you all the pieces that you need to assemble your foldscope, and then we'll assemble one together. Let's get started. First, let's go over all the pieces that you need to assemble your foldscope. Lens stage, focus ramp, sample stage, panning guide. The magnet pieces come stacked together, so make sure you have all the pieces. The circular one has the lens right in the middle, and make sure you keep this in a very safe place. And then 3 square magnetic couplers. And for this assembly process, you only need 2. Cotton swab for cleaning your lens. Ring stickers for attaching the lens. And last but not least, your sticker ID. First, let's fold your lens stage. This is your lens stage. Take 1 magnetic coupler. Make sure the alignment holes are on your right side and you're facing the gray magnet. Insert the whole side all the way in so that the illustration on the lens stage is lining up. And then you're going to push the corners in, like so. Flip it over to the yellow side. Take the second magnetic coupler, flip it over to the black side so that the alignment holes are on the left side. The alignment hole side, it gets inserted all the way in so that the illustrations are aligned. Then, again, push the corners in. Now place this on a flat surface, like this. fold up the lower tab at this dotted line here, like this. These 3 notches gets inserted to these 3 slots. Next step is folding the focus ramp, which will be inserted later in your lens stage. So let's set the lens stage aside and focus on the focus ramp. Flip it over to the gray side so that the shortest end is at the bottom. Place it on a flat surface like this, and we're going to fold and unfold again and again, starting from the bottom. First dotted line here, you're going to fold like this and then unfold. Second dotted line here, fold up and unfold. Third dotted line here, fold up, unfold. Fourth dotted line here, and so on and so forth. Folding and unfolding helps to create sharper edge all the way to the top. And the last dotted line here. Now your focus ramp is creased like this. So starting from the very short end, you're gonna fold up like this, following the crease that you just created, like this. And at the end, you're gonna face the blue side. And if you look from the side, you see that it tapers from a thin end all the way to the thicker end. Make sure you're holding the focus ramp on the thicker end. Now take your lens stage and these 2 pieces come together. Starting from the right slot, right next to the first coupler, gonna insert down and comes out at the other end. Like this. Then set it aside. Then these 2 tabs gets creased up like so. Now we're going to put the lens in your lens stage. Flip your lens stage over to the yellow side and set it on a flat surface. Take one of the ring sticker and make sure the top white ring comes with the sticky sticker. You can kind of touch it so that it's sticky on this end and not sticky on this end. You can set this aside. And now, I'm going to flip the sticky side down and place it on top of the back of the first magnet coupler. Like this. And then you can peel off this top liner. So now this is not sticky anymore. That's where the sticker is. And make sure you hold on to this so that you can put it in your trash bin later. Now you're going to clean the lens with your cotton swab from this side and from the back where it's all black. Just a circular, really gentle motion. Okay. Now, this lens goes on top of the ring sticker, and make sure you gently press down around the lens so that you don't leave your fingerprint on the lens. Make sure you keep your lens very, very clean. Now you're done with the lens stage. Next step, after you have assembled your lens stage, you can put this aside for now. We're going to come back to it later. And we're going to assemble sample stage and panning guide. With your sample stage, you're going to fold up these two tabs into these slots. So at this dotted line here, you're going to fold up the lower tab and unfold. And then at this second dotted line, I'm going to fold up the yellow tip, unfold, and then open this slot and push the yellow tip in like this. Same thing on the top tab. Fold down at this dotted line here, unfold, and then fold down the yellow tip at the second dotted line. Make sure this slot is open and then push the yellow tip in. If you flip this over to the yellow side and say hello to your tardy. Now take your panning guide and also flip it over to the yellow side. Place your sample stage on top of the panning guide, and starting from the left side, you're going to insert at this down and up, just like you're threading the sample stage through the panning guide, like this. And then on the right side where the tardy is, you're going to thread it through, down and up, like this, and center the sample stage like so. I'm going to flip it over to the blue side and it looks like this. Now these two pieces come together. You're going to take your lens stage on top of the sample stage and panning guide, like this, so that you can see the word fold scope through the top window on your lens stage. Now you're going to pull the tabs on the panning guide and move it forward like this, so that the Y on the panning guide shows up in the front. And then the left end of the fold scope instrument logo comes up. Same idea, like this. And then at the bottom as well, the tabs come to the front of the lens stage. Now they are all in one piece, and you can move your lens very easily. Now flip this over to the yellow side and set this down on a flat surface, and fold up the lower end at these two dotted lines. One time, unfold, and the second dotted line here. And now you're going to unfold again and then fold up again at this third dotted line, like this. And then now you're going to fold down at this last dotted line, like this. You see that there's a window that says ID sticker. Your Foldscope comes with your own ID sticker with your registration code so that you can share your experience and findings on our website. So I'm going to peel this off. Again, make sure you hold on to it. And then put your ID sticker on your Foldscope. Now put your magnets together. And congratulations! You have assembled your Foldscope.
So okay, now let us, already we have seen about the assembly of Foldscope. Already we have seen the parts of the Foldscope. There are two parts only there. One is a paper, A4 sheet of papers, and another one is a coupler, magnetic coupler as well as the lens. Okay, these are the two major parts, that's it. Nothing else in this Foldscope. Okay, now let us see how to insert the micro slides. The slides you should prepare your own slides, or we can able to take the permanent slides also. That's up to your own interest. Whatever you want, you can make it as the slides. Then we can go further. Slide insertion.
Let's practice how to put your specimen into your Foldscope. Your Foldscope kit comes with a prepare slide like this. I'm going to flip it over to the yellow side and then open the back tab like this. And you'll see a full access to the sample stage where you're going to insert your specimen. Your specimen has a cover slip. Make sure that the cover slip side is down like this so that your sample is very close to the lens. I'm going to open the tab so that you see the arrows, and the arrows point to where you're inserting the slide. I'm going to insert the lower side, and then I'm going to flip over the yellow tab again, and you'll see the arrows, which points where you insert the other end of the slide, like this. And once they're securely in place, you're gonna align your specimen with the lens, like this. I'm gonna put the magnet together, and then face the blue side. Now that you've inserted your sample slide in your Foldscope, let's start exploring. Let me show you how to hold your Foldscope. You're going to place your thumbs over the half moon shapes on both sides like this. That way you can move around your samples easily like this. What it's doing is it's moving the lens. To focus your image, you can slide your focus ramp side to side like this using your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm using my right hand right now. Do these motions while you're looking straight into the lens. To explore with your Foldscope with your own eye, put your eye right up next to the lens, right in the middle, like this. ambient light when you're outdoors, like I am right now, it's bright enough to see a very clear image of your sample. I'm seeing beautiful cell walls of the fern rhizome specimen that I have right now in my foldscope. When you're using the sunlight as your light source, like I am today, make sure you're looking away from the sun. We want to make sure that you don't hurt your eyes. To capture images on your phone with foldscope, take a third magnetic coupler and attach it with your phone using ring sticker or cellophane tape, whichever you prefer. I'm going to use ring sticker. So take another ring sticker and make sure you're peeling off the actual double-sided sticker like this, and you might have to really nudge it so that the sticky on this side. Now put the sticker around the camera like this and peel off the top layer so that now the sticker is around. Make sure you're facing the black side and put the magnet coupler so that the center hole is aligned with the camera like this, and just press it so that it's securely in place. Now let's mount your foldscope onto your phone. After you've attached the magnet coupler onto your phone, all you have to do is attach the foldscope like this. Then now you can move around easily and then focus your image using the focus ramp. And take pictures whenever you see something very beautiful and interesting. Or alternatively, you can take videos and record your explorations and your thoughts. You can also use a digital zoom like this and take even closer look.
the world is struggling with big problems. We have challenges with biodiversity, climate change, health, hygiene, all these big problems, when you start looking at the root of it, actually have microscopic origins. Microscopic things build everything. Foldscope to me is a lens literally into that world. It is built out of origami, so it's a flat sheet of paper you fold together and you have a fully functional microscope in a couple of minutes. It weighs less than 10 grams, and in the end, you get an instrument that can give you 700 nanometer resolution imaging at a price point of roughly $1. Ecosystems are not just based on large species. So when I walk in the forest, I'm not just looking at the big trees, but I'm also looking at the fungus and the insects crawling around. There are insects with wings and fully functional machinery that are even smaller than a dot that you write on a piece of paper. One time I was waiting for my train actually to come, and this very, very, very tiny bug landed on the rim of my coffee mug. I trapped it in one of my slides, and I was absolutely shocked when this insect actually started laying eggs right inside the slide. The resources that were dedicated in that insect just for production for progeny is really everything. That teaches you something a little about why life is so resilient. It's just such an immense opportunity to come to this world and not know. It's not just for scientists to figure out how the world works. That is truly actually a passionate thing that we all start with. We all start by being curious about the world. We are born with this, and we really need to culture this, because fundamentally, curiosity needs to be nurtured and kept alive forever.
On the research innovation, actually it's just kind of tools. Just for example, take a knife. Or knife over the ஒவ்வொருத்தர் யார் கையில் இருக்கோ it depends upon that work. யார் கையில் இருக்கோ based on the knife, அது பேஸ் பண்ணி அந்த ஒர்க் இருக்கும். Likewise, the foldscope உங்க கையில் இருந்துச்சுன்னா each and everyone should design your own research activities. இதை individually think பண்ணலாம். If you want someone interested to become a wildlife photography, அது மாதிரி எது interest இருந்துச்சுன்னா you can become, no need to worry about this thing. ரொம்ப பெருசா இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்லாம் தேவையில்லை. Just cost of 50 or 100 rupees. இந்த ஒரு foldscope இருந்துச்சுன்னா போதும். நீங்க டிஸ்கவரி சேனலுக்கு you can send your videos. இந்த மாதிரி வீடியோஸ் அனுப்ப முடியும். They can able to publish. So ultimate aim வந்து உங்க ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் லெவல்ல உங்க ரிசர்ச் ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸை இன்டியூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிதான். So by using this kind of simple techniques, you have to develop your own innovation ideas, research skills. Okay, அதுதான் the ultimate aim of the Indian government. So I hope you all do the things in an excellent manner. So now I just show you some of the original foldscope. See, this is about the foldscope. Okay, nothing. One கிடையாது. ரொம்ப simple things. Okay. இதை dismantle பண்ணிட்டு assemble பண்ணுறதுக்கு I can do it now, but same அதே தான் பண்ண போறேன். உங்களுக்கு நிறைய பேர் தெரியாது. ஸோ பேட்ச் பை பேட்சாக நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கும் இண்டிவிஜுவலாக கொடுக்குறேன். எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுக்க முடியாது, கம்மியாக தான் கொண்டு வந்திருக்கேன். ஸோ இண்டிவிஜுவலாக dismantle பண்ணி கொடுக்குறேன். You try to assemble, you try to prepare your sample, you try to see your sample by yourself. Okay, நீங்களே assemble பண்ணுங்க, நீங்களே sample prepare பண்ணுங்க, நீங்களே slide prepare பண்ணுங்க, நீங்களே பாருங்க. Okay, if you have a mobile camera, நீங்க in case future நீங்க எடுத்துட்டு வந்தாலுமே உங்க போட்டோஸ் எடுத்து தயவு செஞ்சு எனக்கு அனுப்புங்க. we can able to upload this ஒரு இது டாஸ்க் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ்க்கு சொல்லிட்டு அதில் அப்லோட் பண்ணிடுறோம் உங்க பேர்ல. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இது ஜஸ்ட் இப்படிதான் பார்க்கணும். பார்க்கறேன், நீங்க உங்களுக்கு அப்புறமா நான் சொல்லி காமிக்கிறேன். இதில் ஒன் மோர் அட்வான்டேஜ் என்னன்னா பை யூசிங் திஸ் மேக்னெட்டிக் கப்ளர் தி சிம்பிள் கான்செப்ட் திஸ் மேக்னெட்டிக் கப்ளர் இருக்கனால நீங்க எதையுமே அட்டாச் பண்ணா அந்த பொசிஷன்ல போய் வைக்கணும் இல்லை இதை போய் அந்த இடத்துல வச்சாலே ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அதில் போய் பைண்ட் ஆகிடும். ஸோ இப்போ எல்இடி illumination இருக்கு, ஹியர் ஃபோர் ஸ்கோப் இருக்கு. ஜஸ்ட் இந்த இடத்துல போய் வச்சாலே போதும், கரெக்டாக அந்த பொசிஷன்ல அது போய் பைண்ட் ஆகிடும். ஸோ நவ் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ஷோ யூ தி மொபைல் ஃபோன் வியூ. ஸோ இதில் கேமரா ஆன் பண்ணிட்டேன், ஃபுல் ஸ்கோப் இங்கே இருக்கு. நான் கரெக்டாக பொசிஷன்லாம் பார்த்து வைக்கல, பிகாஸ் பிஃபோர் தட் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் வாண்ட் டு ஷோ யூ தட் சம் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ். ஸோ இந்த கேமரா பின்னாடி இந்த கப்ளர் நான் பைண்ட் பண்ணேன், செலோ டேப் போட்டு ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ தென் only it's easy to go and bind the specific position of the full scope. ஸோ ஒன்றும் தேவையில்லை, இடத்துல போய் ரேண்டமாக வச்சாலே நம்ம செல்ஸ் வந்துடும். ஆக்சுவலாக இங்கே மைட்டாட்டிக் செல்ஸ் வச்சுருக்கேன். So we can able to magnify by using this focusing and all. So the magnification size is 150 to 2000 magnification. So it all depends upon your mobile phone and camera resolution of your mobile phone. Cost wise the resolution clarity adhigama kammiyagum. So simple way we can able to take the picture, we can able to take the videos, whatever we want we can do. The no complicated task la kediyadhu. அது பொசிஷன் வைக்கிறதும் நீங்கள் சிம்பிளாக வச்சுக்கலாம். ஈவன் உங்கள்கிட்ட அந்த லைட் சோர்ஸ் இல்லைனாலுமே உங்களுக்கு மொபைல் ஃபோனில் இந்த லைட் சோர்ஸில் வச்சிங்கனாலே போதும். Likewise, we can able to focus or you can use another mobile. Mobile or flash in the book on your mobile so just need a light source but in right manner. Adhima for light source கொடுத்தோம்னா clarity கிடைக்காது. That's it. Now we can go for the conclusion discussion. உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது doubts யாருக்கா பார்க்கணும்னா பாருங்க. Okay, one second. இதையும் மொபைல்ல காமிச்சறேன். Actually இதுல வேற ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் வச்சிருக்கேன். Magic like that, simple concept, basic idea. So, it's very people. See, இப்படி பாருங்க. Light source இருக்கறப்ப பார்த்து பாருங்க. Lighting இது டிஸ்மேனல் பண்ணா ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. தனித்தனியா வந்துரும் அவ்வளவுதான். இது ஒரு பாட்டா come here.